Welcome to Inclusion Revolution here on Eastlink TV. I'm your host, Tova Sherman, welcoming you back for our last segment of today. And before I let Meredith go, we had a little bit of dialogue on the break, and I had a couple of more questions. So before we get to the promised poll and the news, I hope you don't mind, Meredith. I wanted to stay a little bit longer because there was a couple of things that you mentioned on the break that I thought were really, really important to bring forward. First and foremost, how does someone get a book or a game? From what source? I know you're working with Department of Ed, but I presume that's only for teachers who have access to their resource list.
Right.
How does anyone else get a hold of it?
They can contact us at reachAbility.
I should turn the box around. Keep going.
Most of our games have been sold through the internet, through people contacting us through email.
On the reachability.org website.
Right, exactly. We're now looking to reprint it and have it, bigger and better. And they can get that copy as well through us at reachAbility, www.reachability.org.
Fantastic. Now, the last thing I really want to hear before I move on is I want to get back to the kids. Where have they gone? You had a first group who put out the book, a second group that just completed the game, so I'm not sure if they've had a chance to move on. But if you could tell me a little bit about some of the results, because you're talking about confidence building and all these wonderful things, but I guess I'm asking, okay, they've got the book, they've moved on. Has there been some surprising results as a result of that confidence building and the capacity to have published a book?
Absolutely.
Do you see some differences? And if so, where are some of them today that really can give us an example of the success that can come from a very outside the box, excuse the pun, outside the box, but an outside the box program?
A lot of them are actually working now, which is fabulous to be able to tell you.
Were they working before? I need to ask you that. Okay.
The For Youth program is an employability program that provides employability skills and life skills training. And so through the program, they've developed transferable skills and confidence building and all of that to now be able to go out and work. So there's one working in a school, there's another one doing like a lunch program, there's another one with a full-time job, They're everywhere, really. A couple of them are looking at going back to school. There's a lot going on for them now
and I know it's tough to measure this, so I realize I'm pushing you on this point, but I have to because I'm curious. Do you believe that the capacity to have done the program that they did, and I know it's your program, so of course, yay, but the book and the game, which was really their choice to design because they picked their own activity you were explaining. I guess I didn't explain that on screen, but it's my understanding that they pick an activity that they do together, and that group picked the book because you had illustrators and people interested in writing.
Exactly.
Do you believe, and can you in any way connect that kind of experience with the fact that they went on to jobs versus maybe other types of programming where we provide them the skill set, the soft skills, the hard skills, time management and all those things, but not necessarily that creative piece? Do you believe that there's a difference as a result from your own experience?
And they're able to express their creativity now as well in their workplace, which is fabulous.
And that's important, right?
Yeah.
Can you tell me why it's so important to be able to kind of have that creative expression in order to not only feel good about yourself, to be able to move on and interview and do all these things that are very challenging?
Right, to flourish as themselves.
And you're seeing that as a direct result of these art style projects.
Absolutely. And
I only ask that because, as you know, Inclusion Revolution really is about doing things differently to equalize the playing field for our community of persons with disabilities. So I was fascinated by this because it's not something I've ever seen or heard about anywhere in Canada. And considering we don't have a Persons with Disabilities Act, I know it's really, really important that we have to do a lot of our own work to get our clients out into the community of mainstream business. And I guess that's where I'm going with all this. Are these youth more capable to go into mainstream business jobs as a result of not only the creativity, but obviously the confidence building and all of what I would call the transferable skills that come from working? And can you tell us some of those transferable skills that really came out of this that maybe even surprised you?
Sure. They've been able to move forward based on all sorts of different aspects, but some of the transferable skills would be communication, for example, team building, conflict management, those sorts of things that all of us do in our workplace. But some people don't really have the skills yet if they haven't experienced it. So we build upon those sorts of things. But they also understand themselves a lot better through the program and are able to talk about it with their employers, for example, through disclosure and that that type of discussion, right? So they're comfortable with themselves now and are able to express themselves comfortably.
So they're coming in not so comfortable in their skins and not so aware of their own skills.
Right.
One of the things that happens from this team effort and this project is the capacity to not only build skills, but to then to apply them and be the person you can be.
Exactly.
And isn't that what everyone wants, whether they have a disability or not?
Exactly, and that's the purpose.
And that's it. And you're seeing that as a result of this very creative approach. And it must be quite exciting to reachAbility to be able to say that the Department of Education has acknowledged this work and in fact wants to carry it as you said, one of their
resources.
Thank you. I don't know the terminology. Well, again, thank you, Meredith. And before I let you go, I'm going to read our poll and a little bit of news today, because I think it relates to what we've been talking about a little bit. First of all, I wanted to share with you from the Associated Press some news. A new study has found that 5 times as many high school and college students are dealing with anxiety and other mental health issues as youth of the same age were who studied around the Great Depression era. Now, that was from the Associated Press, and you can, of course, come to our website at inclusionrevolution.com to get the rest of that news. And today's poll, which we hope you're going to come to the website as well and put your opinion on, is, do you think the reason there's higher levels of anxiety in today's students is because of the external pressure that money equals success? Are we putting so much emphasis on that? Is that one of the reasons we're seeing these huge levels of anxiety and mental health among our students in high school and college age? For the rest of that information and to see who voted how, again, I invite you to go to inclusionrevolution.com, where we're always updating and looking for your information. Finally, I do want to say thank you, Meredith Copp, and to all of the 4Youth participants who developed this material and have made it possible for persons with disabilities to really have a presence in the Department of Education and through their resources.
Thank you, Tova.
So, thank you. I hope you're going to join us next week when we have more wonderful guests on Inclusion Revolution, where we're trying to equalize the playing field one ability at a time. We look forward to seeing you soon, and have a great day.